Okay everyone, good to have you back. Here we go on the series of ESCs. This is a yellow eBay ESC and I bought it as a programmable ESC. It's marked as a hobby wing. It should come into focus. Okay, so there it's got the little sticker on it, HW 30 amp, which makes you believe it's a hobby wing, 30 amp, okay? This is one of the yellow ones, one of the yellow ESCs off eBay. Tried programming it with my hobby wing programmer and went to throw it on my good old wing Z84 that I built the other week. Well, programming it with this, it went from being slightly okay response to absolutely shit house response. So I've done something wrong programming it with this. I didn't read any instructions. I just went through and I thought I got all the right settings as I did it. Trying to be smarter than probably what I actually am, but I went through and went, yeah, I want it on high and so forth, and all it did was make the engine splutter. So I ripped it off and I put one of the red Simon K ones in the Z84 wing, and it went like the powers of shit. Alright, with one of the red Simon K ones. So I'm going to open this up. We're going to open it up. We're going to open this yellow one up right now. The leads that you see on it, I put a Dean's connector on it to go straight onto the battery. And I had a 12 volt coming out just in case I needed anything, 12 volt. If I turn the plane into FPV plane, I had 12 volt coming out the ESC to do that. Well, not coming out of the ESC, but giving me 12 volt out of the battery and a little JST connector when I plugged in. But it wasn't to be. I didn't want to stuff around that morning and read all about this and get that one happening when I knew that the particular motor I put in the wing was running off a Simon K1, no problem, so I threw it in and ran it. So we've got this to play with, okay guys? I bought 4 of them, of which I only got 3 delivered. They did give me my money back, the $6.50 or whatever it was. So I'm desperately wanting to open it up. What do you think, guys? We'll give it an open. Alright, so let's open this up now. I use my little mini cutters when I open them up. So I run right along there like that, and guess what, like I thought guys, this is going to open up and inside it's going to be the same as all the other ESCs you buy on the internet, whether they're red wrapped or yellow wrapped. And here it is. And there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. One, that is a 30 amp hobby power. Now, they've got hobby wing on it. I'd love to know what the firmware is. So I've been learning more about firmware flashing and all that sort of thing, and I believe that the BL Heli Suite, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to, can actually read and tell us what was on it never mind flashing it, but can tell us what the firmware is that's on it. So there's a good shot of it, guys. That's what you buy, whether it's red heat shrink or the yellow heat shrink, is a Hobby Wing. They call it Hobby Wing firmware, HW. You get them when they're red HWs. On one of my quads, on my first quad that I was learning to FPV on, my 450 flame wheel, I had red ones of these that I believed were Simon K. And when I read the stickers and found out that a HW didn't mean Simon K, it meant Hobby Wing. So the first lot I got sent Hobby Wings instead of Simon K, and I've been flying on them for a long time. Alright, so as you can see, it's not a bad looking ESC, is it? You know, when you look inside these, this was $6. And I've seen my fair share of printed circuit boards. And that's not a bad looking printed circuit board. Unfortunately, this is why I'm getting the, this is why I'm getting the flash tool. There are no pads broken out on these, on the 30 amperes. Okay, so that was a yellow one. I'll get one of the red ones. Okay, so the yellow one, is there any way of me telling them apart? Okay, so this is the yellow one. Let's have a look at, you can see that that is if I have a good look at that, that's black, isn't it, guys? That's a nice black capacitor cap across there. Nice black cap, and it's a minus 40 to plus 105 degrees Celsius, vented, .470 microfarad. Okay, now the only difference being between that one, which was our yellow wrap, and this one, which is our red wrap. Now on here I have written, to remind myself, 30 amp question mark, because I didn't know whether this was a HW red one or whether it was a Simon K red one. I forget. It was just, I chopped it open a month or two ago. But when we look at that, that cap is a different coloured cap. It's like it's made by somebody else. It's still, it's to 105 degrees. Where does it say microfarads? 470 microfarad. So it's the same. It's just a larger cap. Why is that? Can anybody out there tell me? I would say it's twice as big. The cap on that is twice as big. Why is that? I would love to know. Alright guys, well, red wrap has a slightly larger diameter. Well, when I say slightly, I would say it's nearly 50% bigger, the cap. There's the cap on the other one. Oh yes. I want to take the lids off. They look different on the other side. Okay, I'm going to take these lids off. Okay, so that was our yellow one. can't take the one off, the red wrap one. With the bigger cap. Much more sticky heat. No, I can't just pull it off easier. And I don't want to pull the fats off the board, guys. So I'll see if I can find one of the red ones where the actual cover will, the heat sink will come off easier. And we'll have a look at the difference, because there does look, just from a quick look at the top of the board, there's no trace there on this board, the same. Yet underneath, I know everybody, they're not identical, are they? They are not identical. Far from it. I'm finding lots of differences on there. Okay guys, so yellow wrap, because that was the one I had on my plane. Red wrap. And the red one has pads. The red one doesn't have the red. This was the red heat shrunk one here. This one that I'm playing with here was the red heat shrink. And as you can see, it does have the solder pads for the breakout. You would have to find or use a meter back to the pins to know which ones are for which. The yellow wrap doesn't. Okay. So you can see that this line of resistors on the sides are different here, and they are on this lines here. You see, they're lined up different, but it all looks, it has exactly the same amount of everything. Do you see the same amount all the way across? The same amount of components, and the same component. So I really do believe that this would probably, there's a pad up there and a pad over there. I really do believe that they would probably use the same hex. So I suppose somebody has to start blowing them up and letting the magic smoke out and finding out whether or not they are. So I'm sick and tired of waiting on everybody else. I've got some of these. They're, $6 experiments, aren't they? So we will see. So once again, yellow wrap here doesn't have the pads. Red wrap does have the pads. I'm leaning more and more to believe that this one was a Simon K. I know I have one here that was a Simon K open, but there's a Simon K one here that I know for sure. That's what was on the wrapping. Starting to take the tails off these, the motor tails. And if we look on that, yeah, see, so that's Simon K, and it has the same pads on it. So there your red wrap Simon K 30 amperes. Alright, that one there. And then this one here is your yellow wrap 30 ampere with HW written on it. Okay, which I believe is Hobby Wing. And I do still believe they all are a Hobby Power. Okay, guys? So we'll look into what MOSFETs are on the back of them. There we go. Screen capture of that. Looks like they're an AA30AY. Of which there's 6 again. Okay guys, so that was another quick look, an unwrapping of eBay ESCs. That was a yellow hobby wing 30 amp ESC, programmable as advertised, and a 30 amp Simon K red wrapped ESC, eBay specials. Almost identical, as you could see in the close-ups there. Very, very, very close. The hobby wing didn't have any pads. The so-called Simon K does have pads. So I'm going to solder onto one of those pads and we'll look on the deep dark net, or the nice bright web, and see where those actual pads go, get the meter out, make sure I'm hooking up everything since there's no name on them, and we'll throw a little sheet up with the name on them so you can see it, a little slide, and we'll have a go at flashing. So that's going to be a whole other couple of separate videos, I believe. As you can see, the time flies. I hope you've watched me to the end of this one as well. I try to get into as much as I can and as quickly as I can. I cut heaps of the videos out that I make. It's an involved subject, I suppose, so you've got to spend a little bit of time having a look. So we're getting deeper and deeper into the mysteries of the cheap ESCs off eBay, the yellow and the reds. So there you go, guys. Let's get into it next time. We'll get into the programming. If you like what you're seeing, subscribe. If you don't like what you're seeing, tell me why down the bottom. And we'll see you all next time. Okay? See you later.